All right, so it's been a little while, man. It's been a little while since I've been doing these episodes. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy that you the first guest back. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to get an episode with you for a little minute now. I feel like you have a lot of stories and a lot of things you can educate, newcomers on within the dance scene, Florida dance scene specifically. But now, though, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into it. We have one of the most abstract.
Thank you.
One of the most experimental, a legend for real in the Florida dance community. Justin, also known as the Ghozzt. And matter of fact, what gave you that name? Who gave you that name? How you got that name, the Ghozzt?
I feel like I sort of came up with the name myself, but then like Kat and I were really talking a lot about stuff, and Kat had a nickname for me, and that kind of evolved itself into Ghozzt, just because of like personality stuff, how I like hang out, how I appear, how I disappear type stuff within like areas of my life and the communities and stuff like that. So I just thought it was really fun. Ghozzt is like a play on my last name having two Z's also. Just like Gonzalez is usually spelled with like an S at the end for some reason for some people.
Yeah.
And mine is two Z's.
Oh, that's tough.
So it's a G with two Z's. It's a Ghozzt with two Z's instead of an S.
Yeah.
Right.
That's tough.
So I like that.
Yeah, and speaking of Gonzalez, your last name, kind of give an origin of like where you from,
Yeah, I'm first generation American Filipino.
Okay.
So my parents were both born over there, came over here, and then my mom came over here second. I met my dad, and then they had me in like the Midwest, and they came right back down here. Like literally right after, and I've just been in Clearwater, St. Pete area for like my whole life pretty much.
That's tough. I like that. Now, normally I do a lot of joking and kidding around with these episodes, which we'll get into that. But I want to be a little bit more serious with you because I feel like you have a big story to tell, and you have a lot of things that you can, like I said, educate a lot of the viewers on. And I feel like you get to tell your story, but at the same time, I feel like you can really dive into it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
I've been around for like a decent amount of time, just kind of adjacent to a bunch of people who grew up through like the scene. Everyone kind of met me at some point. Growing up in like TIB, growing up like a lot of the SGC people. Like I went to school with a lot of these people, or I was in just casual dance battles, or I would just be like meeting them through. A lot of times it was TIB, and then like as the all style community grew, I would just be around. Yeah. I would just see everyone grow up, move on, do whatever. And I've been like working on a lot of stuff around for myself, which it keeps me here, keeps me doing my own thing, Yeah,
that's tough. What year was around?
I entered the dance scene when it was just mostly a majority the b-boy scene.
Okay.
In like 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Right? There was like a video of me at my origin. There's an Astro skate battle where me and my friend B-boy Satka were just like he needed a partner at the time, and I was literally just starting. He was like, I just need someone to enter this 2v2 with, and we ended up entering, and I ended up battling for the first time. Like I barely knew anything about breaking, and it was just like throwing me out into the battle scene. I was like, very cool. And so there's a video of me on YouTube about it.
That's
real fun.
Yeah. He said Astro skate. Man, those are the days.
Yeah.
And then just you said SGC too, like what school you went with them? It was high school?
I went to Lakewood High School. So I grew up battling like LD and X.
Wow.
Those are like the two most like frequent people. I would run into LD all the time. I would run into X a couple times, and then I think he moved to a new school right after we had battled once or twice. Then we did this like talent show thing at the same time, and we were both like different teams in the talent show. I think he went to a different school, and it was just like I knew LD was a year older than me in school, so I like grew up as just like a Lakewood alum, kind of watching them. It would
be like a surreal moment. I'm pretty sure it has been like just seeing where y'all come from and just seeing where y'all at today, like what you be thinking about, like?
I think it's fun. There's a lot of stuff where it's like when you battle for so long and you don't really win battles often or all the time, because like everyone's training, everyone's like respect to the game, respect to the challenge of battling. But that was never really my thing. I was always like in and out of different like performance communities, rather than like the hard competition stuff. I was more into like performing, and that's I think what made me more experimental with it as far as like being a part of the battle scene.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was interesting seeing a lot of the growth of other people as like dance and, you know, your maturity in freestyle and stuff like grows.
Yeah.
Seeing how that evolves within both like the scene and then within the individual person, I think is really cool. Just to see, you know, some of my really closest friends are now like super strong, super famous in the dance scene. You know,
so let's talk about that though, as far as the winning part of it, because you know I myself understand that, you know, just being in it so long and then like having accomplished what you want to accomplish, whatever that may be, but just let's say winning for us, right? Do you have a different outlook on it now, or do you feel like you know, more of a performance side, or do you feel like it's starting to click over when it comes down to battling?
I don't think I was ever discouraged about like losing, like about not winning ever. I think the first battles I won were like, if I started in 2008, 2009, like the first time I placed prelims was probably like 2017, 2018.
Oh, okay.
You know, and I was like real low key about it because I would show up. I had a lot of different performance things. I was working for like anime conventions doing performance stuff. I was working for the amusement parks doing performance stuff. I was doing like my own performance stuff over here in Clearwater.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of stuff I was doing extra while like the dance scene was happening. So I'd peek in and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm here, I'm checking in. Yeah. And then I would see where I was at, you know, assessment of skill, assessment of like where I'm at in freestyle, and then like kind of move on. You know, I would love to be there, you know, swinging with the top people, you know, in the bracket, but it was never really my thing to be a battler. So I always just kind of accepted it as like, yeah, if I put it out and I get to top whatever, if I make it to like the semis, if I make it to the top 8, or even if I just make it past prelims or not, like it doesn't really like phase me too much, especially now.
Okay.
Like I really don't worry too much, even if I go out of state to do something like like that doesn't really bother me.
All right, so that brings me to well, we're gonna jump a little bit. So with that being said, how do you feel about winning the gritty abstract dance of the night?
That was fun.
That was big.
That was fun for me. Yeah, that was the first like battle I've won ever. Like full out. The scenario was cool because I got to battle Liz, and I've known Liz for a long time, and like that's fam. So it was really cool to like win in a battle against her and be able to take the dub and move on to the next, like the anniversary, the 10-year anniversary. You know, all the win stuff was really cool. I feel like one win out of a lot of like figuring out where the wins are in each situation doesn't really like it just adds to a similar pot of like wisdom for me. You know, I don't really think of it as like I lost a lot of these battles. I mean, like I didn't pass through prelims, and of course, and like if I make a bracket and then lose, like this is like I lost for sure. But I really just use that as like an assessment for like what's next. I'm not really like ever held down by the loss of these battles and stuff.
Right. Now I understand that. Just from your expertise, just being in the scene so long, right? Take it as a new dancer, or just a dancer that's first coming into battling, right? What's some things, or all right, let's put it like this: with you saying about the losses and then the win and everything like that, what's some words to encourage them about the prelim situation and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, if it if it really bugs you, maybe like talk to people about it, but like really just putting the time in shows, and like putting yourself out there shows that you are willing to put yourself, like really invest into this. And so it's not really, I don't see it too much as like a loss, because it's very hard to put yourself out there in such a big way like we do as battlers.
Right.
So as we get better at expressing ourselves and, you know, getting more musical, the lessons come out. The lessons kind of come out per thing. If you ask someone about it, if you talk to people, if you do rounds with people afterwards to figure out what's going on, like that's your own journey, that's your own choice. But for the most part, I feel like, yeah, it's all about reframing, like why, like, oh, I lost, you know, or oh, I'm like stuck in prelim funk or whatever. It's like, well, what is everyone else doing? It doesn't mean like you should do what everyone else is doing, but like see some, like, I don't know, I see a lot of common patterns. And so that helps me at least see what's going on. If it's a personal thing with me in the day, then I just have to like really admit to myself, like, maybe I wasn't feeling that good all today. You know, maybe I wasn't feeling 100 today, and like something threw me off, and blah, 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 blah. And like I can make all the excuses I want and reassure myself, like, it's okay. You know, ultimately, like, because of how competition works and because of how this community works, like we rolled to the next battle, and like it doesn't phase us as heavy as maybe like it did in the old days, where it was more like your rep and your cred and your like street status or whatever within the community meant something a little more than like what social media shows nowadays. Right.
And what was the first style you started off with?
I was a b-boy. I started out in like 2008, 2009. You learn a couple tricks as like a kid doing some like like freezes and stuff. You learn those freezes, and then you get like pushed into the community of like, oh, you're a breaker. So like there's breakdancing everywhere. So that kind of manifested itself over my life as I like learned it. I entered like a little community of kids that like also knew it. And so we pushed ourselves through TIB and stuff in breaking. I'm still like kind of lanky, but like I was very scrawny as like a youth, as like a teenager. So that lasted maybe like a couple years of like learning the foundations of breaking and like all of the stuff that I could and couldn't do achievably right now within my power. And so different, like exactly power was not my like forte at all. So I learned all the style stuff. I was like really fun with it. And then I moved to, I think it was like So You Think You Can Dance, and Step Up stuff came out. And that was what shifted me into like seeing more. And then I was always into circus performance and like theater type performances. So that moved me a lot into like animation and like body control type styles, like waving and tutting and popping stuff.
Tough. Wow. So yeah, because you did say that was, you know, back in the day when breaking was really big in Florida and TIB. So yeah, I definitely can see that. As far as crews though, you said you was with people from TIB. What crew? Yeah,
crews. So I'm a part of one of the OG St. Pete crews, Wicked Elements squad.
Wicked Elements.
That was, yeah. Shout out to the gang. When I was there, I was picked up by Sky. B-Boy Sky, shout out. We were down the street at a studio that's not called this anymore, but it's Dance Stars, and we would practice like every Sunday.
Wow.
So it was Tuesdays and Sundays, you'd get it in. And that was really a good time. Like there was a lot of us. We just like were always active, always like all for it. It was probably when I was like, that was probably around like 16, 17, 18-year-old Justin.
Wow.
Like I had actually just started to actually really invest myself into dance, into breaking, into everything really. I was doing just about every kind of like thing I would see. If I saw it, I would try to replicate it or do it in some way. And I would try to like play around with that. And that was something I really had fun with.
What's your style now?
I would say I do like, I would consider overall I'm like experimental all styles for sure, but I would consider myself blanketed in like an animation category.
Tough.
I would be like Yeah, experimental animation, just because I really phase everything through like a time, a timing basis, and then it's all about just like character work for me.
Anybody you watch right now that like kind of like inspire you?
It's a lot of like everyone local is really cool. I kind of peak inspiration from most of my community because we're all just so tough in different, like so many different ways. Just being able to see a community that's like thriving and really healthy in like how they express themselves, how they treat each other as a community. It's been really cool to like see the growth of everyone. If I was to say like big people that I look up to, my dog Jesse Sykes, like that's one of like probably A1 inspirations. That's my brother. Enox, just like a bunch of like really tough waivers, poppers, waivers, and then those are like my top two that aren't local. I would say everyone else is like, I probably see something from everyone, something from everywhere, like breakers, poppers, whackers, Vogue, like all these people, all these styles are really cool how they do things. So I'm inspired by just about everything, you know.
And you mentioned Jesse Sykes, shout out to him. He actually was a judge at your event.
Yeah, I brought him out. We got close. We were just talking. He was like mentoring me. I would take classes from him, and we would talk. And then our birthdays are close together, so it was just a real fun thing to be like, hey, I'm throwing an event. I threw it. It's the second one, so like, why not come out now? I'm just gonna have fun with it and like bring, some real cool guy out. And have him just judge the solo.
This is my jam.
This is my jam.
How did you create such a great event?
Thank you for the flowers. I don't know. I was with Syzygy, I was with Desi and Liz, and Brian was there, and we would always have fun. It was mostly like me, Desi, and Liz. We just have really fun and goof off. Like Chris and Donaji were there, and we'd always have fun. I think I came up with that. I would say, hello, my name is Justin, and this is my jam. And like, it was just like a Ryan Seacrest moment, right, where you're like, and so you think this is so you think you can dance type stuff like that. So I really wanted to capture around there. I don't remember like super specifically when that like came out, but I knew I wanted to have something like ring like that. And then I started, oh man, I was 27. Yeah, I was 27 when I did the first one, so that was 5 years ago, almost four-ish years ago. And yeah, that was really fun. Birthday thing for me. It's always like, for me, I threw these events to start out with by just like wanting to do and showcase all the wide variety of stuff that I am connected to and that I like invest into. And so I really set out to do like, this is my jam. Right, so like, this is everything I do. This is what I like to do. This is my jam, right? And I want that to evolve into just being somewhere that people can just say that and like have that ring. I enjoy just like super ringy stuff like that. So always, I'll probably never give that name up because it just is so fun. Yeah, right.
It's tough, and I love the logo, like the cover, it just is my jam with like a jam.
Yeah.
Jam sauce. But you had fashion there, runway. You had, was it 8th Man on the Hill? Instead of like a 7 to Smoke, it was like 8.
Yeah, I did a top 8, but I did like King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, I did a King of the Hill because that's what a 7 to Smoke is, essentially. Like, it's not like it's just got a cool ring if it was a 7 to Smoke. I had 8 people, so I was just like, it's a King of the Hill, rather than it's like an 8 to Smoke. That doesn't sound as like quiche as like a 7 to Smoke, So King of the Hill.
But so it was tough and it was different, and we enjoyed it. So you thinking about doing a third one, you say?
Yeah, I think it's just timing to be like a every 3 years thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna evolve it a different way probably later on, but right now I let that stew.
Yeah.
Let it be like, you know, I did it at 27, so it was like a fun 27 club thing.
Yeah.
Classic adult phase. I hit my 30s. I hit 30 last year. I kicked that off with This Is My Jam. You know, everything I wanted to do, which was like, once again, the first one was like a runway walk off.
Yeah.
Exhibition battles, a 7 to Smoke that was invitees only, and then there were a couple of there were like 2 or 3 performances, and then I had my friends DJ, and that was real fun. Like St. Pete, you know, Coastal Creative, and then the second one was at the Cuban Club, and that was once again like fashion. I had dancers work with designers, so they were like essentially doing like a runway type thing, but it was like I had Liz do some choreography for my friend Barry, Helena Beadle, just make some really cool stuff, and then we had like Katie out there showcasing her clothing with, you know, Young Nation and stuff like that, so it was really fun. I got to do a lot of this stuff that like showcase a lot of like the community that I really like, which was the fashion and the dance community, and like that was super big for me. I just like doing stuff a little different. I want to incorporate stuff that's like understandable or like, you know, enjoyable for everyone. Right.
All right, 2 things you mentioned from that. The first thing though, just briefly, if you can, if you want to actually kind of give like a summarized paragraph or whatever of just how to even do an event, just for anybody who may watch. Like, how did you even like put everything together, just doing events? Like,
yeah, I don't think producing an event is necessarily hard.
Okay.
I want to say that because the only thing that makes it hard is the conflict of dreams and finances. Right? Being able to fund your dream is like the toughest, like, kind of overall thing, and it conflicts with how much that costs sometimes.
Okay.
The venue, all of this stuff, it's a savings game. Like, if you I am fortunate enough to have a career that like supports me and allows me to flourish and invest in other things that I want to do. And so with that, I'm able to produce just slightly bigger style events.
Okay.
And that has its own lessons for me to learn also. But like, as I invested into this, it really, truly was the only 2 things that I came across were like financing the whole thing to produce, and then having a team.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do it alone. It takes a village for sure. And I really took it on alone, and people came in to like help me.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate like those people. They're my family. Like, the people who come in, fly in, and they're like, okay, I know what's going on. Justin's doing this, and then like they just do whatever. Yeah. Like, they really helped. Like, I remember Liz and X were like the first 2 for the first one. They helped me out in like so many different ways. And then my girlfriend, my partner Audrey, helped me out for the second one, like managing everything during the show. Like, I would not have been able to do that without Audrey personally. Like, that was crazy. And I took all that on, and then like people flew in, and like I didn't really ask for much help. I did most of it myself for the like general parts of it. But then like when it came down to it, like those big details, those weird blind spots that I had were covered by a team. Okay. You know, and I could like very much flourish or like thrive easier if I had like a full team. But with that, like, I really am a practitioner of just fairness, and everyone gets paid because we're doing this. Yeah. So it's, for me, it's like balancing out how much I'm paying, making sure everyone's paid fairly, and then making sure like I'm not just like over investing, you know, because it's fun. Like, I love throwing events. I'll just throw events because, you know, I've invested my own time, money, blood, sweat, tears, whatever, into like putting these things together. And then like I didn't really do it's the win is like doing it. The win is doing it. Same thing with the putting yourself out there for battling. Like, the win is like doing it. Right. Because you did the thing. Like, damn. Like, 70% of people can't say that.
Facts.
You know.
Facts.
So like, put it out there, pushing yourself to put it out there, and then like figuring out how to do that with your own resources, or figuring out how to do it the cool entrepreneurial way or whatever, where you get sponsors and you get help and you get like marketing stuff and you do this in like a huge widespread production, because it works and it's worth it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like when you do that stuff for yourself, when you invest into like your creations like that, it really like pays off.
Yeah.
And I've seen it, and it really helps me figure out how that balances.
Right.
But like if I was to say anything, it'd be like, yeah, just like really take it easy on finances. Don't overstress yourself. Don't put too much forward. Don't like overspend for yourself. Like figure out how to dial back, because and make your dreams happen on the scale that like you can support, then build a team around that. Because honestly, like once you ground yourself and like figure out where you are, then that team helps you like put more dirt under your platform to like build a foundation. Right.
I love that. Now the second thing that you mentioned Syzygy.
Yeah.
You joined a dance crew at the time.
Yeah, that was like I started having the studio around 2018.
Okay.
Right. My mom graciously opened the studio up, pulled me out of blue collar work, and yeah, I had a studio. I was teaching a lot of like aerial stuff, and then I would have crews come over and like train and practice and like rehearse and whatever. And Syzygy was one of them, and we got real close. And ultimately, it led to me being a part of the crew like 2019. 2019, I joined up with them, and then we just all started being 2020 happened, and we just all had to be adults and do our things. And so I'll always rep them because like that's fun. I love the name and I'm a sucker for a good name. And then I just love the group that I'm a part of.
Right.
Like all of us are really grounded, real fun, real funny, and just like a good energy to work with. So I just love being a part of like that family. It's more just like a family rather than like a fully active crew right now. But like Desi's out there, Liz is out here. We're just like a family at this point. We got Syzygy in the back in our blood.
Yeah.
Right.
What were some of the things that you kind of picked up on to learn from just working with them, like just seeing this from afar? Like what's some things that you was able to, they like that on this end? I
really like a solid contemporary mindset as far as like performing. They have like every single one of them is like super creative, really cool, really talented. So it was really nice to be able to watch them and see how they put like pieces together, how they rehearse, dance together, their approach to like contact freestyle and different like commandos, and how they choreograph stuff for group battles and group things was really cool. It was very very inspiring to see like how each one of them moved, so like different, but there's like a flow that all of them really vibed on. There's a lot of real fun details within that fly through, but like the main color was like they were always a lot more different and free to express that. And that was like what really drives me, what really made me like super inspired by them overall.
No, that's good. That's tough. Now, I always gotta give you your flowers. You mentioned about having the studio. Your mom's opened up a studio and you was there, and for those who don't know, he opened up the studio, like he said, to every crew, but everybody, like the whole scene, free of charge. If you want to donate, you could, and I'm pretty sure people donate and everything. But I just want to give you your flowers, like right here, right now on camera. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I speak for everybody when I say thank you for just allowing everybody space like that. I know it kind of tough sometimes because you don't want nobody to break none, this, that, and the third, but you did that, man. And I feel like that should always be a staple within the Florida dance community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, 7 years of it. 7 years. Shout out, mom. for really like facilitating that, allowing me to like grow and do my thing and hold space for so many people. Like that was one of those things that really changes someone in a lifetime. In 7 years, I mean, like I'm a whole different person from 20, 23, 24 to 31.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And it kept a lot of people like on they grind and you know, just us dancers and stuff like that, like trying to continue on with that run that we got, whether it's, you know, not necessarily in battles, but just a healthy type of lifestyle within dance.
Yeah.
Now we know, okay, I don't gotta wait till the next battle. I don't gotta wait till my friend come in town to train. Like I can go right to Justice and Kinesis and just really dive in and just let go, and we can get rounds in there, and it's good fun fellowship and everything like that. So it definitely was a time, and I salute to y'all, man, for it, man. We thank y'all.
Thank you.
To all you, your moms and stuff like that. But that facility, that space was originally for you being movement therapist, right?
Yeah. My mom is a physical therapist.
Okay.
And I learned from her, because if I got hurt or if I was just like paying attention to like things she did, I would be able to implement that in my life. And I'm like a youth, or at least youthful adult. And so like that really helped me push. She taught me a lot of like fun stretching things. She taught me a lot of body stuff that was like really cool to maintain myself in my 20s. And then even now to this day, like I really like talk to her, and we talk shop and we spit game about like things to do. And she'll always teach me stuff, and she'll always start. So like she originally opened up the studio because I had a passion, and she wanted me to like grow that rather than I was working maintenance. I was doing a whole lot of maintenance work, blue collar stuff, for a hotel, for different people around like Pinellas County and stuff like that. So I was doing a lot of weird like handyman stuff for a while, for like a few years. And so she got the studio, and moved, like I went full-time working at the studio. I was doing everything. I did the website, I did managing, I did most of the classes. At the time we were kind of teaching together, but like I started doing most of the classes, right, for like a few years until COVID. And like from there we just kept it as a creative space, because like priority shifted, and I went into massage school. So I was learning constantly through like the holistic pathway. And then from there I just went full tilt that route, and now that's what I do like all the time.
And you're a licensed masseuse, correct?
Yeah, licensed massage therapist.
From the school?
Yeah, I went to Sun State Academy up the street here. It has since moved, but like it was up the street like 10 minutes. And so I would go to school like 3 times a week. Wow. I would just be there like right after COVID, right after the heat of COVID, I was right into school. So it was right after Florida got like lenient about stuff. I was in school. Yeah. And so then, a year and a half, a year-ish of that, and like then I've just been doing massage ever since. That's
tough, and I'm pretty sure like, well, of course, like you learned and it stayed with you just how important the body is, right? So like, what's some tips that we can learn on camera, you know, from the body that you've acquired over the years?
Oh man, fun tips, strengthening our back, strengthening like our pulling muscles, because we're always doing like a lot of forward stuff, a lot of curled, hunched over stuff. So strengthening our posture and our back is like semi-essential. You know, back, core, posture, like lats, everything like that. Doesn't matter how strong you are, if you're like off balance and you're sloped forward and you're not able to pull yourself back or move your shoulders around properly, right? I mean, me too. It's more just like a practice to just wake your body up and get yourself moving, because we're normally at rest like this. This is like it's not really trained in a lot of us to like always rest so upright and postured or whatever. And that's not it. That's not the issue. It's just like being able to keep yourself strong and then be able to move like as fully as you can, you know? So it's like strengthening your core, just making sure you got like movement, because if you don't have the movement to like pull all the way backwards, push all the way forwards, lift your hands up over your head, squat down low to the ground, you know, lean left, lean right, like we're losing out on something, and that's just gonna snowball as we get older, you know. But like you really learn that, you know, I'm 30, I'm 31. So like you really learn that quick as you start like progressing in age. Once you hit those markers, like, and you're not keep taking care of yourself, like it doesn't matter how youthful you are here, your body starts to like actually start feeling it, especially if we're just wearing ourselves thin or we're not paying attention to it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Justin, where do you feel like we at right now in the Florida dance scene? Just from your opinion, your perspective, like what do you think is happening right now in the Florida dance scene? I need to know from you.
I think it is like we're at a cool transition of generations.
Okay.
Because like I said, we're like a lot of us when we're growing up now are late 20s into 30s.
Right.
Like we're a veteran community. We have a lot of elite people in the dance scene that have been around for a very long time, you know, just as long, if not longer than me for some people. So like we're both getting stronger as older people and then passing on the torch to the newer generation.
Right.
So there's like a fun transition to see like the new generation also take this heat, you know, take the mantle and like really pave the way for a lot of different new movement, you know. And so there's like a fun adjustment. I mean, like the Florida dance community is like decently wholesome, right? We still got some like personal stuff between personal people or whatever probably, but for the most part we're all supportive of each other. We're all trying to like get this dance thing going, you know. That's our mindset in Florida, is just to have fun, right? To have fun with it, to compete. Like we're all competitors. Like you're raised in the Florida battle scene, you're like a freestyler, you're a competitor, you know. So like we all have that fire, so it's not like we're losing it as older generations, but there's youth coming in. Right. There's a lot of like young kids, young adults that are like taking this wave now, and it's a balancing act for us as the old gen, and like a climbing act for them as a new gen, to figure out where both of us fall. I like that. So it's like a transition. You know, ultimately, like, because we are the way we are and because of how the time is kind of built through the 2000s, like we're pretty young still at like 30. You know, millennials are still pretty young even compared to Gen Z people. Like we're comparable, even if there's like a 10-year, 12-year, 15-year gap in age. So like it's not the problem, it's not like the issue. So it's more of just like a transition of like everyone is now here and we're all putting it out. Right. You know, and so it's not a matter of who's good and who's not. It's a matter of like, are you showing up? Because there's a whole new generation showing up. And if you want to still show up this way, cool. If you want to still show up in battle, cool. But if you want to show up and do other things, like you got to do smarter, not harder sometimes.
Right. As long as you've been in the scene, may I ask, why haven't you judged yet?
I mean, I judged like a dysfunctionals battle. Like I judged some like beginners battles and stuff like that. I think I've judged maybe 2. But I feel like I don't have enough rep as far as being a battler to truly like judge battling like that. Based off of normal, I guess, standard or perspective. Okay. I personally like judging, you know, we're always doing this and this when we're watching a battle, so that don't matter to me. Okay. But yeah, I haven't gotten that many wins. I really haven't like gotten farther than top 4, right? And that was versus you, right? It was top 4 in one of the Halloween battles. Right, like now I won against Liz, you know, like an actual battle, but like, I got time. I got time like to I keep doing my thing. Still gotta like master my own craft or whatever, so I can put myself forth at like 100 and really show people like, whoa, what's going on for me, essentially.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question, right? This is something I want to talk to you about because I've been thinking about this a little while. Not a little while, but recently I've been thinking about this, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you feel like that mindset of, oh yeah, the rep situation, do you feel like that's kind of like getting corrupted or tainted? And what I mean by this, right? I feel like it's a lot of dancers that just because they don't have the big name, is like, okay, it don't go like that. We gotta pick him, even though they may have lost that battle. I'm thinking of a battle right now that I feel like the newer person won, the big name lost, but obviously it went to the big name. But
I personally, that's always been around. That's always been around.
Okay.
Breakers are notorious for it. If you got homies in a different crew and you're sliding that battle, a lot of people will play politics over anything, right? It's gotten better over time, but you can still see like a little slant sometimes. But like a lot of people do that. There's no, I feel like there's no shame because everyone's got their own time for things. For me now, that's like my evolved perspective. Feel like I could complain and moan in the moment when you're like, oh, you can obviously tell that so-and-so knows so-and-so and blah, 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 blah. And then they voted like this because of that.
Yeah.
But like, that's their path and that's their journey. So like, I guess you just got to respect the game because if that at the worst, you could pick a fight with the judge and do rounds, at the worst.
Yeah.
Right? And like settle it or whatever, but people don't do that anymore.
Well, do you feel like we should get back to that, or you feel like it is pointless a little bit? What do you think?
I feel like rounds should be set of like people should be like calling people out a little bit more.
Okay.
But it doesn't really, at the end of the day, this guy's getting paid.
Yeah.
Right? So you're gonna fight someone who's already got money and then you didn't, so you're just mad. Right? It's a personal problem from there.
Yeah.
It's your own struggle. So like, yeah, call people out if you feel like you're better than this dancer or that dancer, like, and the cypher's happening.
Yeah.
Like, tell them get up. Like, tell them get up, do rounds right now, and like show them or like tire them out or do your mind, whatever. But like, as far as like nepotism goes, which is voting for boosting up people because you know them, that'll be around for a long time and longer than us, because we always want to give our homies or like the people we love just a little bit more love. So like you might lean just a little bit, even if you're as objective as a person might be, you might lean your perspective a little bit towards your friends because they're your friends. You might be just a little bit nicer to your friends perspective because they're your friends. You will listen to your friends more because they're your friends or because or they're popular or they're famous. You like pay attention to them more. Right? If I don't know this person and they're doing something and like the first 3 moves are whack, sometimes that's just going to distract me. And like that skews the vote because I don't know you. And like your first impression, my first book open, my first cover look is like, right? So sometimes the dice just doesn't roll in people's favor. And like a lot of time, like a variable in that just happens to be nepotism, right? We just can't predict that and we can't really be too mad at it because at the end of the day, unless you were the one battling them, then like you have really no right to be mad. You know what I mean? If you were the one battling, like if I was battling so-and-so and like their whole crew was a judge on the judging panel, and I looked at them and I looked at their crew on the judge panel and I looked at them and I was like, well, there's no way. Because like everyone's like, and then they start a chant or they start to do da-da-da, and like you can tell all of the hype is on their side. You're like, cool. You kind of like have to take a step back and like confront that for yourself, but also just accept some sort of reality that like you then either have to swing real hard and just like be on your S rank game, your A rank game, you know, or like have fun, be as fun as you can be, and make the most of those moments, because win or lose, if you're not like, if you're stressing over the win, then like that stresses the lose too. And so like, why would you need to do that unless you were really willing to put 100% of yourself right out there at that moment? Then like, let that weigh on you, let that flip turn. But if you're willing to put 100% out, you'll get 100% back, like no doubt, you know, even if you're mad at the moment, you know?
When personal slides into business. So I seen some people, some dancers, I'm not sure they were studio dancers, but it was dancers that I haven't seen in the scene as much, but they was tough. It was tough, but they left right after they did make the top 16. Now the recent event. What do you think about just or we pretty much covered that already, but what's some things, obviously you say you didn't care, but what's some things to never take it personal for you that you can share with somebody that can give them like, kind of like, you know what, that's right, I'm gonna do what he did, to not take it personal?
Man, I mean, like, one of the main things is that there are so many battles. There are so many battles. So like, if you're trying to enter every battle and you're like, why am I not winning? Like, pick your battles. Maybe like workshop a little more, maybe socialize a little more with like your contemporaries, your group, your peers, your community. Like, figure out, maybe ask them questions to like help expand the community also. Like, if I was like, hey, what are we doing here? That's like, what am I doing that's weird? What am I, like, what could help me? Something like that. Like, I don't know. There are ways to swing that. So like, if I lose, if I get discouraged, which happens, I'm not saying it doesn't, like, I really take a step back and I say, well, there's always the next time. 2, maybe I should just train harder. Maybe that's a call for me to train more, right? You know, 3, that might have not been my time for this one because of these elements, and like, I will learn and I will kind of like try to look back and be present and observe which elements worked and which ones didn't. You know, what was working for that, if I stayed for the whole battles, like every battle, like, what's working for people, you know? And like, it's okay to be discouraged. It's okay to like take an L and feel the L.
You can feel that,
because like, if you don't feel it and you don't accept it, then you're ignorant. And like, that's just a whole different problem. That's just a whole different like challenge to confront. But like, take the L, accept it. Like, for me, I like, it's just like, chill out. Like, for lack of better words, you know, you just got to chill out, because at the end of the day, there's a million more days in front of us that are chances to prove yourself, right? Because like, what is it to you? You know, what is battling to you? And what is that L to you? What is your intention with like your journey as a battler, as a dancer? You know, are you trying to win? Are you just focused on the winning of it? Are you trying to like grow and get stronger first, this, that, and the third reason? Like, and, you know, at the end of the day, it's like a personal thing for us to process within ourselves. Like, these challenges come out because we're dancers, because we're putting ourselves out there, being vulnerable and competitive at the same time, right? These challenges of life come out and like help us figure it out for ourselves. You know, maybe you get mad, maybe you get sad, maybe you like get turned off to the whole thing. Like, we juggle that, we figure it out, and then what brings us back is always dance. You know, I'm never not gonna dance. So like, if I abandon my community, I'm like abandoning half of what hip hop means, you know, or what dance means. So like, I'll always be around. So if you're always going to be around, then like,
another chance. Maybe
just get over the one loss. Because you'll find your chance. I mean, there are people who are like 45, 50 something winning battles. You know, OGs. Granted, they might have had like clout before, but like, it doesn't matter because they've just been around for years. You know, they've made their own style, their own names, their own popularity themselves over decades. You know, and then they put themselves out there, and then they're like banging on battles. And you're like, oh, that's crazy. But they did their time.
Yeah.
You know, it's their time now. Just like how like certain movie stars get found when they're like 50-something, and suddenly the rest of their life is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, but they were a janitor or something before. Right? It happens.
Right. Red Bull. Could you see yourself ever doing the Red Bull?
I could see myself doing Red Bull because it's really fun. The concept is fun. The I feel like the setting is really fun, and it's very performance based. So it's very like I'm showcasing myself to like an audience type base rather than like a full on 5 judge panel left or right call type stuff, or like very deliberate calls.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of can go wherever. Do I see myself actually doing Red Bull? Who knows? If I climb in battles, if I can like show myself or whatever to like get seen by them, to be put in there, cool. I would do it.
Yeah.
But do I see myself like fully doing it all the time? Like I don't think I really fully fit like the Red Bull mark. You know? I would say I'm a little like out there experimentally to do stuff like that right now. But maybe in the future, heck yeah. You know, I don't see myself stopping battling for a long time, so who knows? You know, Red Bull will evolve in the next like 5 years, 10 years.
That's what's up. 3 people, right?
Yeah.
3 people. You don't have to name any names.
Okay.
But 3 up and coming dancers, or 3 dancers that's probably not up and coming, but you just could tell that they need a little bit more push.
Yeah, okay.
Some advice you can give those 3. I know I do a lot of advice, but I just really want to, this interview is about.
Yeah, slowing down to have fun.
Yeah.
With each moment and each picture.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, there's a lot of like rushing dance for the heat of battle movement, like bad freestyle battle stuff. You know, especially for hip hop. Like, there's a lot of rush to like move past the dance and get a concept out.
Yeah.
Even if it is the dance, like sometimes you just gotta like slow down and eat, right? Slow down and show off a picture, right? That's like chill, but like you can really put your energy into the image, right? Rather than needing to rush from this move to this move to this concept to that concept to this groove, right? Saying things with like really like a lot of chest grooves, really a lot of like chest bounces, chest grooving. A better use of the core always goes a lot longer.
Yeah.
You know, it goes back to like keeping your core really strong for like just longevity.
Right.
Being able to communicate with your core over just about everything. Like I could move my arms and swing this way, that way, or the third, all I want. But if I'm not like using my core, I think half the time a lot of battlers, a lot of judges especially judges don't understand what we're doing all the time until you start like getting into maybe like what these grooves or moves are with the chest and hips and stomach and like the back and everything, you know. That would probably be like, those would be my main things I would say. Everyone's just got to keep drilling.
Yeah.
Everyone's just got to like keep putting in work, because you never know when it's your time. And luck is all about like making yourself ready for the opportunity, right? I mean, like luck happens to everyone. So you could get lucky just because you were ready and you were training, you know, or you could get lucky just because you've been practicing these moves over and over again, you know, for a competition or this, that, or the third. So like, just keep yourself trained, keep yourself conditioned, take care of your body, and like really move from the chest and core, and like feel every moment. Like you don't have to rush things.
Now, this is something I do every episode.
Yeah.
3 people. This could be anybody now, no matter the level. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can say names on this one. This one person that you will want to either battle or battle with. one person you would want to perform with, and one person you just want a session with, like that. You feel like it'd be a good exchange session, or just building and drilling.
Those are big. I feel like I always want to just battle, like, I don't know, all the big heads, all the bigger heavy hitters out here, everywhere, really, just to put myself with them. It's hard to name just one. I'm also real bad with names other than like the locals, so it would be mostly locals. Like, of course I want to battle X again. You know, how many other times? You know, Liz, how many other times?
Yeah.
Right? These are like my friends. These are my family. Like, it's really fun. I always love sessioning with Brian. I would love to session with Brian more. Shout out Glicket, B-Soul. I like his mind. I like your mind. Same like reality DC. You guys have like a fun musicality, and a fun way you guys play with music. So I would love to session with you guys more. Just overall, all of y'all. You know, like I get to session with Robo when I go out into LA, but like more so. You know, I like diving into that stuff. Session, battle was like, I kind of just, I was grown up on like the breaking scene of like battle everyone.
Yeah.
So I'll battle anyone.
Anybody,
everyone.
yeah.
Right? I would love to, I want to do some sort of big waving performance. So like I want to perform here in Tampa with like the people who really love to wave, you know, like T-Wave, Desi, those are my main wavers. Bring Yang out here, bring who, like a lot of people don't really understand waving here as a style, but then there's like a whole lot of competitions and stuff and like everywhere now that's starting to showcase waving. I think that's really fun. I couldn't really name anyone like externally, like external from this local community right now. But yeah, there's a lot of people that I feel like I've been blessed to session with, and like you meet new people around the world, around the nation, you know, when you go to just these bigger battles. And so it's really cool to see who you get to meet from like battle to battle. Especially when you travel, like you'll never know. And so I always like that kind of mystery. And yeah, there's friends that help me guide that, but like I like that mystery of like, who am I going to battle with? Who am I going to session with?
Right.
You know?
I heard in the beginning you said that you would like to battle like a lot of big names. So now I know it's like a Ricky intermediate battle coming up, but just for clarification, like, hey, your opinion, just so everybody know, just have some sort of clarity, like, who do you think is the big names in the Florida dance scene? Like, just name.
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot for this, but like we have really notable heavy hitters.
Okay.
Right, we have really notable heavy hitters. We have X, Desi, Liz. We have, I mean, Brian is even like super heavy hitter. We have Staccato. We have Sweet Face. There's Energy. Like, I can go through like each part of Florida and kind of take away so many of like these like really powerful people that are always winning. Like LD, still like so strong, you know. MJ, K-Soul, like these people just always are on their game in the battle scene. So it's really cool if I was just like, you know, like I can name people. I can name pretty much everyone that grew up in the community with me, you know.
Tough.
They're like they all got so strong. I'm like in and out watching them like just ace in battles sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see. It's really cool to see these are all my friends and they're all winners. So like, you know, ultimately that makes like, what does that make me if they're all winners?
As a fact, surround yourself with winners. Yeah. That's what's up, man. Did we miss out on anything? I feel like we covered a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think we missed out on?
I don't think I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. You're guiding the show, so I'm like, I feel very satisfied of everything we talked about.
Yeah, man. On that note, I appreciate you, man. And it's another episode, man. It's another episode. We gonna keep it rolling this time. I'm back doing these, and I appreciate you, allowing me to be your home and give me a tour and just, provide what you can provide as far as information for this camera. So shout out.
Yeah, thank you for holding space for me to talk. Like I'm really happy that I got to be able to do this with you and like answer some cool questions.
Yeah. Most definitely. All right, though.